Dewey, my pedagogical creed. That was one I read today for my reflection that's due tomorrow. And I loved it, just loved it. Dewey's the best. It's pretty much his philosophy of education. And the huge takeaways for me, one is that the process of learning in a big sense is, passing on the generations of knowledge, and he calls it like moral ethics that we've developed as society and as people. And I really believe in that. I think we sit on the shoulders of giants, and like we've had thousands of years of development, and to just think that we'll just like pick that up, I think is misguided. I think that having some active effort is the most effective way of carrying on this amazing development that we have as he says it's a race, which I think is the wrong word because it brings in like how we think about race, but as a people, as a civilization, as a human race. And I actually think that's, the effect you have on the future is how you live forever. So it's pretty important, I would say. He also talks about school as a place where you kind of shift from, your like individual unity or individualism to more social understanding. I kind of believe in that too. You're a baby, you're just like your own little thing, and then you go to school and you hang out at camps like these soccer people over here. I don't know if you can see that. And you learn how to act socially. He mentions a lot of times the balance between individual ideals and social ideals. You can tell he's writing at a time where a lot of people are thinking about individualism versus capitalism as a dichotomy that that opposes each other, and he recognizes that they're both connected and that you kind of balance them and that they're both really important. I truly believe in that as well. Recognizing people as individuals that are part of groups, I think is like who we are. What else does he say? Talks a lot about kids need to care about what they're learning. You can't just learn shit in isolation. I didn't mean to swear on these videos, so I'll try not to in the future. You can't just learn things in isolation. They have to matter to a learner's current social context, to a kid's world. They have to be real to a kid, or else they're kind of meaningless. And so, as a teacher, that's a huge thing to always remember. Is it's not about making it fun, but it's about making it matter to them now. Which is another thing he said. He said that education is about now, not the future kid. Which I love. As a grade 6 teacher in a school that's grade 4 to 12, often we're like, well, how can we get them ready for grade 12? Or how can we get them ready for university? And that is part of what we do, is get them ready. But I think the most effective way to do that is to experience now. Because you don't know what the future has, and now matters. So let's focus on now. Yeah, and the final thing is like education is social change. And this is the thing I'm still kind of working through, but Dewey believes that education is the best way of improving society. You change a law, that's not going to actually, it's not a good way to change society and progress, but through education you can progress. And I believe that. But to me it begs the question of who decides what that progress is going to be. Because if you say that education is how we progress, then is it up to individual teachers to decide what progress is, or is it up to the curriculum to decide what that progress is? And if it's up to the curriculum to decide, then who decides the curriculum? And what progress is, and what reform is, and what about maintenance? Like, what things can we keep that are good?